Have you ever tried to tell a story but your words just can't capture that special moment? So you take out your phone and try to shoot a video, but the footage just doesn't look right. The problem is when something epic happens, cameras are hard to use. You're either fumbling around trying to get it set up, or when you play back the footage, it just doesn't really tell your story. So what if there was a camera that could make the process easier? Let me introduce you to the Insta360 Go number 2. It's a thumb-sized camera that can go anywhere with you and can capture the moment with the click of a button. This camera can be mounted to your head, to your car, and even to your chest with a magnet, which makes the setup super simple. All of your videos are stored internally on the camera itself, and when you connect it to your phone, the Insta360 app will even auto-edit your footage for you, which creates a super shareable video with little to no effort. Whether you're a pro or you just want to record your experience, the Insta360 Go number 2 is a tiny little camera that can capture it. So all you have to worry about is what story you're gonna tell, not how you're gonna tell it. So in this video, I want to go through 10 reasons why you would get the Insta360 Go number 2, and I'm also going to tell you some reasons why I don't like this camera. I want to give you the pros and the cons in this video, and you can make your own decision on whether it's a good camera for you or not. So I just want to give a quick disclaimer. Insta360 did send this camera out to me for free. However, this is not a paid review. They didn't tell me anything to put in this video, and even if they did, this isn't a paid review, so I'm gonna give you my honest thoughts and kind of my experience working with it and playing around with it in some different situations. Number 1 is its size. I mean, you can see it's on my head right now. This thing is tiny. It's the size of a thumb, which is pretty wild to have a camera that shoots decent quality at this size of a camera. It's almost too small. But what's great about the size being this small is that it's unobtrusive. So on my head here, I don't have a big GoPro sticking out or like the Insta360 1R. Like, it's a very slim, small camera. However, at the same time, it's so small, sometimes it's hard to use. So when I've been out filming with it and you shoot it just like this, like, it's great, but the way that this works, there's no buttons on the camera. As you can see, it's just a little stick. The whole camera itself is like one big button. So when you press this, it starts recording. And I've found that unless you're using the case that comes with it, you end up hitting this button if it's in your pocket or something. So you have to be careful with this that you're not accidentally hitting the record button, because every time you do, you're wasting footage. And so when I've been playing around with this, I've noticed that every time I stick it in my pocket, it always seems to just start recording at some point because I bumped it. Now, number 2 is the charging case. Looks like an Apple AirPods case. It's almost identical in size, but what this case does is it charges the camera and it gives you a little screen that tells you your settings. Now, this is the only way that you can actually charge the camera. You have to stick the camera inside, and then you can plug in on the bottom, there's a USB-C, and that's how you charge the camera. Now, this case also has a little tripod on the bottom of it, so you can set it down and get a shot of yourself by just flipping out the 2 little feet. A couple issues with this case is that the screen only displays settings. There's actually no way to view the footage unless you connect it directly to your phone. And also, when you have the camera in here and you put it on the tripod, it's very wobbly, so it just tips over super easily. If there's any sort of movement, you can expect this case to fall over. So it's not the best solution for a little tripod, but it is nice having that feature to be able to just set this camera down and get a quick shot. Number 3 is that this camera is waterproof. So if you take it in the ocean or it's raining or you're in the snow, you never really have to worry about destroying this camera with water. But one thing to note is you definitely want to dry off the camera before you stick it into the case, because the case itself is not waterproof. Number 4 is stabilization, because this camera is super stable no matter how you're using it. You could spin the camera in circles and it's going to keep your horizon level when you're in the pro setting. It's capturing more data. You can rotate the camera, and basically you're able to have the horizon level the entire time. So no matter which direction that you decide to shoot in, your horizon's always gonna be level and the footage is gonna be stable. Like, it's really cool how this works, and the only cameras that really can do this are 360 cameras, and GoPro actually can do this as well, but you have to get an extra mod that allows you to do the horizon leveling. Number 5 is that the camera actually has a removable front lens. So this little lens on the front here, you can unscrew it, and so if you ever scratch this, you can replace it, which is great because it's an action camera, and there is a lot of opportunity for you to scratch the lens depending on what you're doing. Now this also opens the door to add things like ND filters or polarizers down the road, but this camera is an auto camera. You're not gonna be setting manual settings, so using things like ND filters really isn't gonna make that big of a difference anyways, but having the screw on filters definitely helps for if you do scratch the front element. Well, that sucks. I just lost it somewhere. It's not on the bike anymore. Oh man, all right, I gotta go back. Number 6 is that it uses internal storage, so you never have to think about a memory card. Now, the internal storage is much better than the original Insta360 Go. This one has 30 gigabytes of storage. The original Insta360 Go had 8 gigabytes of storage. So it's more than triple. However, you still run out of footage. And I've noticed that when I'm out shooting, if you're using it consistently, you're gonna have to transfer at some point. And for me, not having that removable media makes it actually harder to use because I have to connect it to my phone and transfer all the data over, or I have to connect it directly to my computer using a cable and pull over the footage that way. If I'm out shooting and if I'm doing something like mountain biking, well, I'm gonna have to have something with me to be able to transfer the footage. And if I'm using my phone, I have to make sure that I have 30 gigabytes of footage able to transfer, and potentially even more than that if I do need to transfer more than once. So if you are using this camera in short bursts and you're not using more than 30 gigabytes, then it's not gonna be a problem, and it's actually super useful to not have to even think about memory cards. But if you are shooting in situations where you are gonna be using more than that 30 gigabytes, it ends up becoming kind of a pain point of this camera. Oh God. Number 7 is that the case also charges the camera. I think this is a really cool feature because the camera itself doesn't last super long, but having the case by its side allows you to keep going on your day and just charge the camera as you go. Now this also becomes a problem because if you're in any situation where you have the camera mounted on you on your head, on your chest, and you just want to leave it there as you're recording, well, you only get so much battery before you have to put it in the case and let it sit in the case for a while before you can start recording again. It really only is good for short bursts, and then you have to let it charge. And that's, I guess, one big flaw I would say about this camera is that you really need it to be able to go longer when you're doing these kind of action sports style videos. Because like if I was doing a trail run, I don't want to pop it in the case and then have to wait for it to charge and to be able to pull it back out to put it back on my chest or my head, my hat. So I'm glad that they have this feature that allows you to have more battery time, but even better would have been some sort of replaceable battery. I think when it comes to any sort of action camera, having a replaceable battery is key because there's gonna be so many situations where you just wanna swap a battery real quick and keep shooting. You don't wanna have to take this camera off, put it into a case, and then wait for it to charge to be able to record again. Now you can record using the case while it's charging. However, that's gonna limit you because you can't use it as like a POV camera anymore. Number 8 is that this is a super wide camera. It's a POV camera. Like you can get this camera super close to things and you're gonna still see everything around it. You can stick this camera in your mouth and see behind your teeth out. It's an awesome combination being that it is a super tiny camera with a really wide lens. It allows you to get these different perspectives that you can't always get with other action cameras. So with how much you can capture with this lens, it's a great little POV camera. Number 9 is that this camera comes with different mounts for different situations. So you get the head mount, you get the chest, the necklace mount, and then you also get the sticky mount, which could basically go on anything. Now, all 3 of these mounts will help you get that POV shot. However, these mounts aren't perfect. The sticky mount loses its stickiness pretty quick. I went mountain biking with it, and within like an hour, I couldn't use that mount anymore, and I'm gonna have to get another one. The head mount's great. You could tilt it in any direction so you can get a good POV from your head, and the chest mount seems to work fine as well. Now, one downside with all of these mounts is that they're all magnetic based. The magnet's pretty strong. However, there's still a chance that the camera will fall off. I was mountain biking with the sticky mount, and sure enough, the camera came off and I almost lost it. Like, I had to go back on the trail and find it. Oh, there it is. Oh, well, if you're skiing or snowboarding, I definitely don't think this would be ideal because if you're using any of these mounts where it just clips or magnets and you drop it in the snow, yeah, you're never gonna find it again. Let's clean you off. Something to keep in mind, these mounts are great to get those POV shots, but the fact that there's no clip-in or there's no screw like a GoPro or Insta360 ONE-R, there's a potential chance that you're actually going to lose this camera. And I would love to see one of these mounts that's more like the Insta360 ONE-R or the GoPro, where it like clips in and you screw it on to different mounts. Just having that two-prong mount system would open this camera up to a lot of potential uses, whereas right now I think it's limited because you have to use mounts that are magnetic. Number 10 is that the Insta360 Go app is super easy to use. You just hit connect and within a few seconds the camera connects to the phone. You could see what the camera is seeing, and if you want to do quick edits, you can pull the footage into your phone and do some auto edits using their software. It makes it super easy to make quick little videos that then you can share on social media. Now personally, when I'm out shooting, I hate having to connect a camera to a phone to be able to see what you're seeing. I don't like the fact that I can't see what I'm shooting unless I have it connected to a phone. And that's why on like the GoPro or the Insta360 ONE-R, with that little screen, you can at least see some framing to be able to get your shot correct. This is a tiny POV camera, it's wide. You don't really have to see the shot. You'll know that you're getting something wide, but it might not always be perfect because it is still an action camera. It's not a 360 camera. So I guess the question is, who is this camera for? This definitely is a good camera if you just want something quick and easy to get some POV shots. Like if I'm shooting behind the scenes for my videos, I would rather use this camera, just throw it on my chest or my head, and I know that I'm gonna get a behind the scenes shot super easy. Or if I just wanted to get some quick shots with my family, playing at the park with my daughter, like this is a great camera to use because it's just so simple. You just throw it on and hit the record button. But I think with some of the limitations that I've talked about and the fact that it's 1440p versus 4K, I won't be using this for a lot of projects where I need an action cam POV look. I would rather use my Insta360 ONE-R or my GoPro Hero 9 because those two cameras, I can change out the media, I can change out the battery, I can see what I'm getting actually on the camera, and I never have to rely on an app or any sort of connection point. Now also, if I wanted to use this camera as a vlog style camera, it's not reliable because I'm not sure if I'm gonna get good audio or not. All right, so now I have it in the case. I can see that we're recording. Oh, we are exploring the beaches of Laguna Beach. I came up the other side of the power lines, came down this hill, and just recording off and on between here and there, I'm completely out of battery on the actual Insta360 Go 2. I would rather use another camera where I can plug in a mic and know I can get better audio for vlogging. So I'd love to hear from you down in the comments. Is this a camera that you're gonna get? And if it is, what kind of videos are you gonna create using this little POV camera? All right, that's it. I will see you on the next one.